Hello everybody, Self-Care Samantha here, and today we're going to talk about two different journaling techniques to help you either when you're super pissy and cranky or when you want to practice gratefulness. So let's hit both sides of the coin. So the first thing we're going to talk about is being pissed off and needing to get something off of your chest, okay? So that technique is called dump writing, okay? So dump writing, okay. So dump writing sounds self-explanatory, but there is some stuff that I want you to know about dump writing, okay? Firstly, dump writing is dumping everything out of your head, most importantly, on pen and paper. The reason why you need to do this with pen and paper is because inside of your mind right now, there's a bunch of thoughts that are ricocheting, going off, and they're getting all tangled up and mixed up, and it's really hard to think, and it's hard to express yourself, and you need to get it out of your body. It's going to come out of your body by unraveling through your arm, through your hand, onto that pen and paper, with your pen and paper. Okay, so in dump writing, there's absolutely no grammar, okay, no spelling, no nothing, no punctuation, none of it, okay? You're literally going to take your pen, put it on the paper, and you're going to write like a madman. Everything that comes through your mind, everything from, you know, I'm so pissed at my coworker for doing this. And remember that time that mom did this and I love that. Oh, I'm so glad that I seen this. And you're just going to go bananas and you're going to write until your hand hurts and you have no more thoughts. This process for a lot of people often brings up tears, and that's okay. Keep writing. I'm fucking crying because of this. And get it all out, okay? No crossing the T's or dotting the I's. No grammar, no punctuation. Do not stop yourself from letting everything out, okay? There's zero perfection, and that's the point of this exercise, okay? So when we can do this and get everything out of us and actually create a relationship with our thoughts through dump writing, then we can do what I'm always suggesting, which is taking time to look for the patterns of the things that you have repeatedly complained about in that dump writing. Here's a kicker. Sometimes the thing you're complaining about isn't the true problem because there's often a root cause of the problem. So maybe, let's just use coworkers, that's like really common. Maybe there's something your coworker's doing that absolutely pisses you off. But the reality is maybe your big sister or your little brother or your mom or your dad did that to you when you were a kid and it's unresolved inside of you and you haven't figured out how to cope with that type of behavior. Dump writing is going to show you the patterns. You have to think of the root cause. However, the cool thing is when you're verbal diarrheaing all over this piece of paper, there's a high chance you might come out with, and this pisses me off all the time because when I was this age, this happened to me. And then you might have found your root cause, okay? Dump writing is extremely effective. So here's my way of doing it, okay? So one, I get a big journal. I like full-size paper for this. Get the lines so that at least you have some structure so that later when you're looking at it, you can kind of figure out what's going on. Because I've done it on plain paper and it's kind of like, not that useful, okay? So get like a normal notebook. If you're Canadian, get a cahier and it will help you, I promise, okay? And make that for just being pissed off. You're going to have no grammar, nothing like that. And once you've gotten everything out and you just can't write no more and you're pissed and you're done crying and everything, you're going to shut the book and you're going to go for a 20-minute walk. This is hugely important, okay? The 20-minute walk is going to give you fresh air. It's going to reset your heartbeat and it's going to allow your nervous system to calm down from all the things you're super pissy about, okay? When you get back from that 20-minute walk, let's write this down because it's a crucial part of dump writing. 20 minutes walk, post dump. Once you're done with all this, you're going to come back to your journal and you're going to just review it and you're going to circle the same things you see over and over. I'm super pissed at my coworker here, 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 here. And then you're going to start looking for what did you say about why you were pissed. And if you see that you were always pissed that she did something like she was late every single time or whatever, then you're going to start asking yourself like, okay, it seems like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 times I was pissed at her for being late. Well, now it's your time to start digging in. Why does it piss me off so much when somebody's late? What am I going to do to get over that? Because ultimately, it's you who needs to control your anger so that it doesn't ruin your day. Okay. So let's move on to the second portion of a technique to do journaling. We're going to call this the practice of gratefulness, okay? Practice of I'm sure that is not the way to spell that, but whatever, that's how we're spelling it. Gratefulness. I'm not a spelling page. Practice of gratefulness. Okay, so this is going to be a very structured kind of journaling. So instead of going bananas and writing all this crazy stuff, instead you're going to answer yourself the same questions every single day for at least a few months to start getting this practice in order. And I'm going to give you those questions, of course. Okay. So the first question that you're going to ask yourself is going to be, what happened today? Okay, that made me mad, sad, or stressed out. Okay. And this, I don't want you to dump write. I just want you to say, I was really pissed off when Joanne got there at 10:01 and she was supposed to be there at 9:45. Okay, that's it. You just need a quick summary. Okay. Once you know what made you mad today, you're going to ask yourself, how did I handle that? Did I handle that? And then you're going to follow up with, how can I do better next time? Okay. How can I do better? Because here's the thing, you can't get Joanne to do better, but you can do better. Okay. Once you understand that you're only in control of yourself and not others, then you can control yourself so that you have a good day. Joanne's going to have to deal with the shit for being late all the time, but you don't have to. Okay. How can I do better? Okay. So that's how you're going to start your practice of gratefulness, because when you know you can do better, you will be grateful for that. I promise. Okay. Once you get those two questions down, you're going to follow up now with, what was good today? What was good today? What was good today? I don't know. Maybe your kid brought you something really cute, or I don't know, today I had a really nice morning. My cat came and gave me a little snuggle, and she hasn't done that because it's hunting season. She doesn't care about me because she has things to hunt. So that was really nice. You know what I mean? So whatever it is, it doesn't matter if it's minuscule. Even if you think oh, that's so tiny, it doesn't matter. We need to be grateful for the good and beautiful things in our life, no matter how tiny. Okay. So what was good today? They're going to follow up from that, and you're going to say, that was good today. And then you're going to say, what happened today? Okay. I know these seem redundant, but they're not. Okay. What happened today that I am grateful for? And most important, that is definitely not grateful. Grateful for, and most important, why? Why were you grateful for what happened today? Okay. So what was good today could be something simple, like you completed a project. You folded all your laundry and put it away. Whatever. It doesn't matter. The point of this first question here is to start getting your mind to think about good parts of the day. Okay. The second question, what happened today that I'm grateful for and why, is much more specific. Okay. So something could have happened today, like I just said, like your kid gave you something and you're really grateful for that. Or maybe, I don't know, maybe you do have a kid and you had a great conversation with your ex who you share custody with, and you're grateful for that probably because it's good for you and them, or probably because it's good for your children, or because you're finally able to actually communicate the way you need to as parents. Okay, I don't know what that thing's going to be for you as always, but I do know that this question is definitely going to get you there. Okay. And there is a bonus question that I want to add to this. So if you had a bad day, you're going to ask yourself, remember this is a bonus question because maybe you didn't have a bad day, but if you did have a bad day, you're going to say to yourself, how did I word it? Okay, you're going to ask yourself, was it a bad day? Was it a bad day? Or, this one's really important, did I let a bad 15 minutes take over my 24 hours? Okay. Because you are in control of that. Okay. Because I used to do that too, guys. I used to get so pissy about the littlest thing, and then I'd be in a bad mood all day. Why? That thing only happened for like 5 seconds, and realistically, I was only really pissed off about it for like 5 minutes, but I'd let everybody, I'm pissed. This freaking idiot, blah, 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 blah. Well, no, you're not going to let yourself have a bad day because of that idiot, okay? You're not going to let yourself have a bad day just because Joanne at the office was late, okay? You need to really start to figure out how to control that stuff. But the only way you're going to do it is when you make a physical relationship with what's happening in your brain. And the physical relationship comes through actually writing it down on a pen and paper, looking for patterns, right? As always, patterns. If you're super pissy, so that you can find the root cause. And if you're not super pissy and you want to start practicing gratefulness, what you need to do, that's how you rewire your brain, okay? You're going to actively write down these questions and answer them, okay? So something that I did was I wrote these questions on one page, so I didn't have to rewrite them every single time, okay? And then instead, I just go to the first page of my journal and be like, oh, the first question is what happened today that made me mad, bad, sad, stressed. The second question, whatever, go through them, okay? And sometimes I would come home so cranky. And instead of going through any of these questions, I would start here. Was it really a bad day, or did I let that take over? And then I would question myself. Why? How did I handle that? How can I do better next time? And then I'd make sure to spend extra time focusing on what was actually good today and what happened today that I'm actually grateful for. And I was always, why? Okay. This is, guys, therapy that you can do for yourself that costs no money. This is therapy you can do for yourself. I bet you have paper and notebooks and stuff lying around the house that you haven't used. Rip the pages out that have been used. Start a new journal. You probably have a pen around. You probably have a pencil around, okay? But the key to this is literally getting it out of your head, but most importantly, out of your body onto something physical so that you can actually gain a relationship with what's going on inside of you. This, my friends, is emotional self-care, emotional problem solving, okay? So I hope this helped you. If it did, please let me know in the comments. If you've ever used one of these techniques, I'd love to hear some of your questions that you ask yourself. And as always, I want to remind you that this video is sponsored by no one except for you. So if you love it, make sure you like my video and subscribe. Thanks for being here, guys, and I'll be back with a new video very soon. Have a great day.